Tony D and Little Jones somewhere in the house, and this is your Screenwriter's Rant on a complete unknown, starring Timothee Chalamet as Bob Dylan and Ed Norton as Pete Seeger. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 15, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Yes, book 15, the ebook is up. Print book will follow, hopefully in the next 10 to 12 hours. All right, so this is basically a Bob Dylan biopic with Timothee Chalamet as Bob Dylan. He is not riding the giant sandworms, nor is he a cannibal. No, he is Bob Dylan. He sounds enough like Bob Dylan, I guess. I mean, before Bob Dylan sounded like me. That's the way he always sounded to me. He looks kind of like Bob Dylan, kind of like a young Bob Dylan. And this is going to follow Bob Dylan's life. It'll romanticize it a little bit. There it is, Edward Norton in theaters. Elle Fanning's in it as well. So, you know, it'll probably be the standard kind of rise and fall. I don't think it goes through his whole life. I did catch a glimpse of the synopsis. So first act, Bob Dylan is new on the scene. The folk singer scene. Pete Seeger's trying to help him out, and they think they see something in the kid. And then he shows up. He meets, which I guess probably his first wife. I don't remember how many wives Bob Dylan had. Falls in love with her, and then it's about, is he going to do the music or stay with her, maybe something like that, and then he becomes super famous. The end. You know, probably the sort of like, does he follow his fame and his glory and that, or does he give it up for love? Something like that, I guess. I don't know. It's a Bob Dylan biopic. It's just an excuse to play a lot of Bob Dylan music or re-perform it and talk about his life and some of the more interesting aspects of the events in his life. So, I mean, I kind of like Bob Dylan. It's kind of hard not to like some of his music. He's got some good songs. I kind of prefer a documentary, only because I know these guys are trying to eke out a performance here, which some of it will be true and some of it won't be true. And that's what always irks me about dramatizations. But let's read the write-up. The plot: a Newport folk festival in 1965. Young Bob Dylan shakes up his act on the folk music scene by going electric and singing rock and stirring rock. There's something spelled wrong here. And searing rock as the voice of a generation, defining one of the most transformative moments of 20th century music. Okay. Let's see. Searing rock. Yeah, no, I guess that was spelled correctly. So, director James Mangold. What worries me is this is the same guy who directed the 5th Indiana Jones movie. So while he seems to know New York in this era, he would seem to be not great at directing Indiana Jones. But that being said, this isn't anything like an Indiana Jones movie. It's a biopic, so maybe James Cox and James Mangold, Jay Cox and James Mangold are the writers. Yeah, I would definitely wait for streaming on this one. Mainly because James Mangold wrote it and directed it. I don't trust him at all after Indy 5. No way. Look, there are some movies. And look, I get it. He was probably contractually obligated to push the movie. Had to. All that money, studio ain't gonna let him out of his contract just so he could tell the truth. But that being said, who could trust him after a movie like that? Not me. Not me. So I'll definitely wait for streaming on this one. But this is a movie you'd probably wait for streaming anyway, unless you were a Bob Dylan fanatic or loved the music. You'd be like, all right. I mean, if you're a fanatic, you'd be like, oh, I got to see it. I got to see what they get right and what they get wrong, because you know so much about Bob Dylan. But if you're, sort of just kind of know him like me, yeah, you'll wait for streaming. Maybe it's interesting. I mean, Ed Norton is always an interesting performer. Timothee Chalamet, I don't know. He annoys me because of the way he spells his name. Can't you just call yourself Tim Chalamet? Something like that. Tim Chalamet. Chalamet. I don't know why you gotta spell. Actors love to spell their names in crazy ways. I mean, he looks fine. He looks fine. I like Bob Dylan, but I'm not a fanatic. So, some people are complaining about his singing. Seems okay. Seems okay to me. Seems like he's as confused as I've seen Bob Dylan look. Bob Dylan always looked a little confused, like he just rolled out of bed to sing the song, and now he's still kind of waking up and kind of go, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, and then he got less coherent the older he got, it seemed, until now. I don't know. What does he sound like now? But yeah, I think it'll probably be worth seeing at least. But I would wait till streaming. But that's just me. And that's it for me, Tony D. And Little Joan somewhere in the house. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out book 15 of the Pineys. You can check out the cover at least. And then hopefully in a few hours the print version will drop and you can order that. Tonight I will be at the Millville Public Library at 6:30 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.